Brian, it seems like every week we come in here and we talk about Brock Lesnar and WWE, but it seems like every time I put up a video, somebody's asking me about Brock Lesnar coming back to WWE or being added back to WWE 2K24. And you know what? I think it's Triple H to blame for it because it seems like he's the guy who's always in front, kind of giving these people hope. And I think it's not even a hope spot at this point. Brock Lesnar will be back in the WWE because every time somebody asks Triple H about it, he says Brock Lesnar's doing what Brock Lesnar does. When he's ready to come back, we're going to welcome him with open arms. Do you think Brock Lesnar should make a comeback, or should WWE completely wash their hands with him?
It's one of those things, man, where it's a tricky subject, and the reason why it's a tricky subject is because if he is cleared from any wrongdoing, by any means, bring the guy back. But then it's like, if he's not, it's like, all right, bro, you got to wash your hands and keep it moving. It's like one of those things where it's like, you don't want to see the guy back. If he really did do something, if he really didn't do anything, then bring him back. I mean,
well, we already know he didn't do anything. So I don't see what the big problem is. I don't see why they removed him from WWE 2K24. I think they pushed the panic button, and Brock Lesnar unfortunately suffered for it.
I don't know, man.
Think about it. I mean, listen, Vince McMahon, you could say whatever you want. He was definitely in the mix doing some stuff that he probably shouldn't have been doing because you're the boss. You shouldn't be messing with employees. But apparently, he signed this lady just to be in that position. So Vince McMahon, I could see all of the dirt and all the mud on his names because he was doing some pretty questionable things, having people sign NDAs. Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon, they were friends. You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
And if they're friends and Vince McMahon has a girlfriend that he's kind of, spending time with, and he's like, yo, Brock Lesnar, listen up, my boy. If you come back and work for this company, I'm going to put you down with somebody. Now, Brian, you my boy. If we were two single men and I had a girl and I was like, yo, Brian, I'm going to put you down with this girl. Is there anything wrong with that?
That's a lob, my boy.
That's a lob. I'm going to throw you a lob. So when you text this young lady and you speaking with her, you can kind of get to know her and you can say whatever you feel you're comfortable saying, as long as you're not pressuring or forcing her. I feel like Brock Lesnar just was kind of building a relationship with this woman. Now, he is a married man, so we're not talking about morals or ethics here. But I mean, if you got kinks or fetishes, I don't think there's nothing wrong with displaying that to the person you're speaking to. Especially if your friend said, I'm going to introduce you to this woman. You don't know about the dirty, nasty workings that's going around.
Fair. But in this situation, would you be happy with Brock Lesnar coming back to the WWE?
I don't care. I feel like he's paying for another man's sins right now. Brock Lesnar has put in the work to become a superstar, and we don't have any proof or there's like no indication really of him doing anything wrong. He was just texting somebody who turned out to be the wrong person to be texting because his friend gave him her number. That's how I look at it. You look at the documents. It doesn't say Brock Lesnar forced himself onto her. Brock Lesnar never even met with this woman. He just sent a few text messages.
So now I've seen online that some fans is kind of like split. Some fans are saying WWE does not need Brock Lesnar, and some fans are saying that they do. Now, what side are you on?
Does WWE need Brock Lesnar? I don't think the WWE needs Triple H. I don't think the WWE needs Cody Rhodes. I don't think the WWE needs Roman Reigns. WWE itself is like an entity in itself where it doesn't need anybody else to survive. So if somebody leaves, somebody else will step in their place.
Right. But at this point in the product, because I feel like nobody else has stepped in his place. We don't have aside from Roman, who was already Roman when Brock was around, I feel like we haven't seen that big bad beast who's a part-timer that can come around, get the crowd amped, and, just be Brock. Like, I think the closest thing we might have, and he's nowhere near, could be Braun Breaker.
To me, you're right.
That'd be the only person.
Nowhere near.
Yeah. So we don't have that big bad monster that comes around every couple months that's just a star. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And I don't want to say WWE is missing that, but it's always nice to have. Like, Brock Lesnar is one of the wrestlers or guys that you're like, oh, that's a luxury to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody just like WWE would dream of having somebody like MJF, so AEW dreams of having somebody like Brock Lesnar that can come around and do some pretty big things, especially a guy that looks like this, at his age. I mean, bro is 47. He's
What,
still
you think he
putting in
look
that
good?
work. I mean, hey, bro, you know what I'm
He
saying?
look good?
Pause on that. But you know what I'm saying?
Why he look good, man? He's a
He
good looking man.
he look on good
Up.
he looking good shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
hey, bro. I mean, hey, he hasn't slowed down. That's the type of thing. And for a Brock Lesnar type of match, there is kind of like, all right, it's either a Brock Lesnar type of match or it's not. Because you don't really expect much. You expect a couple suplexes, a F5 to the announce table,
All you need to do.
and that's it.
That's
So
all you need to do. But when you ask if they need Brock Lesnar right now, I think you bring up a good point. I think, yes, they do need Brock Lesnar because you think about guys like Gunther, like he's on the verge of kind of breaking that mold to becoming a superstar,
he
but
needed Brock so bad at WrestleMania, bro.
I think he needed
So
Brock.
bad.
That would have put him on another level. Like he can go to SummerSlam and beat Damian Priest, but even if he does that, I think he's still going to be missing that piece. And I think Brock Lesnar is really the only man who can get him that last thing he needs to make himself like solidified.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, and he wants it too. He wants it really bad. That I mean, he always talks about he wants to face Brock Lesnar. And I think is a possibility in the future. I think he has to be one of the guys to dethrone Brock Lesnar. But we have to see where it goes because I think if Brock does return, he's not gonna lose right away, bro. They might have him go on a quick little monster run, defeat a couple opponents, kind of get him back up there. But
Yeah.
um, I mean, I would like to see him back, bro. I think that even like if he's like just done with or just released from all this accusations and everything like that, he deserves to go out like correctly. Like
On his own terms.
right.
Yeah.
He deserves to go out on his own terms, have a good run on his own. He doesn't need to win a title, but we obviously know what Brock can do. And I think
Come
that's
on,
one of the
man.
biggest things.
The final year of John Cena, there has got to be a Brock Lesnar match in there. Do you remember that SummerSlam match, him and
Yes.
John Cena, where he just
Wait,
threw him down and wrecked him?
is that when he rocked them with the no was that when he rocked them with the chains or that was another pay-per-view? Because I know he had
John Cena rocked Brock Lesnar.
yeah.
No, in this match, John Cena didn't touch Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar
Oh,
went in
that was
there,
the squash. That was after Brock
squash.
Lesnar beat Undertaker, correct?
I think, was it after or before?
I think it was after
See,
because I think John. Yeah, I
we
think
need
there
our
was a
history buff
report.
kiddo in here.
Yeah, I think there was a report that John Cena said, "I got this guy has to squash me because if I give him a match after he just damn near squashed Taker, then it kind of defeats the purpose." So
It's the whole
John Cena
purpose.
was very unselfish when it came to that and getting squashed. I mean, that's the face of the company. We got to get that again. You know
With
what I'm saying?
guys like Brock Lesnar, because John Cena should have lost to Wade Barrett and made him a
Oh yeah,
superstar.
yeah. He
He
way
kind of
better.
cooked those guys in the Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that John Cena has cooked. That's for sure. But I think Brock Lesnar, man, I think WWE can use Brock Lesnar. I don't think they necessarily need him. Just to put my touch on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice to have him back, at least as a fan personally, as long as there was nothing wrong. That's just my whole stand on that. So
But do you think he gets added back to 2K24, or do they potentially add him in 2K25,
there's
or is
no
he
way.
just completely done?
There's no way he gets added back to 24. I think that if we don't see Brock back before next year, I think that he's not going to be in 2K25 at all. I think that if there is any possibility of him getting back into 2K games, it's not going to be this year. I think that he can be a buying point, a selling point to WWE 2K25, and we've seen people act crazy about him. So I don't think they put him in this year.
Yep.